Hey everybody, I thought I'd make my mac and cheese, and Danielle was bothering me to do a video, so I figured we would do my mac and cheese video. So today I'm going to show you how to make Bill's famous barbecue mac and cheese. I got some water going for my noodles. I always boil them with some salt, and I put in some olive oil, and I always throw in some basil or thyme or something like that, because a friend of mine who's a chef said that way it doesn't just taste like boiling yucky water. So I'm gonna let my noodles cook, and I'm gonna get my ingredients out, and I'll be right back. So I'm just cutting up my cheese now. I use 20 ounces of sharp cheddar, usually from Cabot. It's locally owned in Vermont, and it's lactose free. I also put in 7 ounces of smoked Gouda. A lot of times people will want to take a shortcut and use the shredded cheese that comes in the packets. But if you notice on the back, it's full of preservatives, and preservatives melt at a higher temperature than the cheese. So by the time the cheese is melted, the cheese part of it's already burnt. So take the time to buy block cheese and just cut it up. I usually cut them fairly small. It melts faster, but it doesn't really matter. So I melt 4 tablespoons of butter, and then I whisk in a 1/4 cup of flour until it's all blended, all my lumps are gone. I always make sure the lumps are gone. I think those little things are what makes things better. Pour in 3 cups of milk. And I'm gonna let this cook on medium low for about 4 minutes. After I get it all blended up. I've got my pulled pork already prepared. I cook my pulled pork in a crock pot I usually dump in a can of beer. It's usually Corona, because that's usually what I have here. And I don't really put a whole lot of seasoning into it. But when it's done, I pour in a barbecue sauce of my choice. I usually use a higher quality barbecue sauce, something kind of tangy and southern, I guess. Blend it all in and pull it all apart, and then just sit that to the side. For seasoning, I do just some salt and some pepper, and this is the part where I'm not very good at measuring. Kind of just go by how it feels and taste. Put in some garlic powder, and some of my special Creole seasoning, which pretty much any kind of Creole seasoning will work. I put in quite a bit because that's a lot of the flavor right there. I just kind of let all that simmer. Dump all my cheese into my cheese sauce. Give it a good mix. And while that's melting, I put together my pulled pork and my macaroni. This is the fun part. I feel the only way you can mix it up is by hand. So I get to mix it by hand. Probably should have washed my hands first. Well, I was out working in the garage, so that's all good seasoning anyway. I usually pull it all apart, any little bits and pieces, because the smaller the pieces I feel the better, because that way the flavor is distributed. I don't like taking a big fork full of just macaroni or just a fork full of pork. I want to taste it all in one bite. I walked away to wash my hands after mixing up my pulled pork and my mac and cheese, and I see this.
It wasn't melting.
Should we just microwave it?
It's faster.
This is why I am the kitchen bitch.
So in the time that it takes for the cheese to melt, you can have yourself a glass of wine. Because it takes that long for the cheese to melt. Which is a plus.
As you wait for your cheese sauce to melt, maybe just take a moment to enjoy your wine. I got this big bottle of wine for $6. It was on some special clearance. It's Riesling, which is our favorite, and it's not bad for $6. Stimson State Cellars,
Washington State.
Washington State. From Mohans in Queensbury. They had a lot of cheap stuff. I actually got a big bottle of red for like $8. It's melting. Leave it alone. Everybody's in such a rush all the time. Why are you in such a rush?
I'm not.
Where are you going?
Nowhere.
So the other day, we were talking about having baked potatoes for dinner. And I says, well, it takes an hour to bake a potato. And Danielle said, no, it doesn't. It takes 7 minutes. I says, it doesn't take 7 minutes to bake a potato. And she says, it takes 7 minutes in the microwave to bake a potato. It's not a baked potato. It's a microwaved potato. Everybody's in such a rush. Slow down. And a big rush to the end.
Enjoy the wine.
Enjoy the wine. So my cheese sauce is sufficiently melted. Not quite to my standards, but I'm being pushed. I put in my pork and my macaroni. And give it a good stir. Blend it all right through there. So I tasted it just to check my seasonings, because like I said, I just kind of always guess with that. And it tastes pretty good. My biggest critic is Danielle, so we'll see how she feels about it.
Mmm.
Thumbs up.
Delish.
Now I just, preheat the oven to 350, and then I pour the whole mixture into my glass pan. Looks like I could have mixed it up a little bit more.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, but you were going to microwave the cheese. So I guess we have a saucier side and a not so saucy side. It could have been mixed a little bit better than that, but that's what makes it characteristic. I put this in the microwave. I have got no microwave. In the oven for 15 minutes. And then I broil it on the top rack until the top is the brown that I want it to be. And that's when it's done. How's that? So that's my barbecue mac and cheese. If you like it, you can subscribe to our channel and let me know, and I'll send you the actual recipe if you want to try it. And maybe if I get some comments or some likes, I'll make some more recipes, and maybe I'll let you guys in on my apple pie recipe. Doubtful, but that could happen. So I'm gonna go enjoy my mac and cheese, and I hope you enjoyed the video.